said that he will be running the country until there is a proper transition of power. On the other hand, the Supreme Court of the country has ordered the Vice President to assume the interim presidency. Now, what Donald Trump has to say on that is something that remains to be seen. But for that, let me go back to my colleague Srinjoy. Srinjoy, at a time when Donald Trump has said that he will be running the country, the Supreme Court of the country has asked the Vice President to assume the interim presidency. Take us through the details.
Yes, Vice President Rodríguez is now going to be acting president of Venezuela. Now, there are several issues here. Number one, how will President Trump and the Americans react to this? Number two, this "we will run Venezuela." Who are the people? Who are the we in this case? Are they Venezuelan? Are they American? Will this include Corina Machado, recent Nobel laureate in peace? These are questions that are yet to be answered. So, if you already have an acting president, then how will Trump run Venezuela, as he has said? Will this mean a second military operation? Can that be ruled out? These are issues that perhaps the Americans will have to sort out. Because, as I said, its regime change is much easier than nation building. And the Americans have learned that lesson in Afghanistan and before that in Iraq. Now, is this something even Trump's supporters want in America? Another round of nation building, which didn't succeed in Iraq to a very large extent and certainly has failed in Afghanistan.
Absolutely. And even at a time when Donald Trump had said that he will run the country, now the Supreme Court has ordered that Vice President take charge as the interim president of the country. Stay on with us. We have a reaction coming in from the Vice President of Venezuela. In fact, she has gone on to say that the country is ready to defend the natural resources. Have a look at what she said.
Exigimos la inmediata liberación del presidente Nicolás Maduro y de su esposa Cilia Flores. Se activa toda Venezuela y el decreto que ya fue suscrito por el presidente Maduro, único presidente de Venezuela. Nosotros estamos listos para defender a Venezuela. Nosotros estamos listos para defender nuestros recursos naturales que deben ser para el desarrollo nacional.
So the person that you can see on the screen now, she has been, in fact, elected as the interim president of the country after, in fact, the President Maduro was taken away by the United States, and he will be charged as far as the narco-terrorism is concerned in the United States. So now, Srinjoy, now there is some sort of clarity as far as the regime change in Venezuela is concerned. Now, she will take over the charge, but at the same time, Donald Trump just a while back had mentioned that he will be running the country. So how will that happen, given the fact that he will now also intervene? Now, is that also a possibility that US will once again intervene as far as the functioning of the country is concerned?
This is actually a very contradictory and complicated situation.
Right.
Here, on one hand, you have tried to do a regime change. You have captured President Maduro. And yet, the vice president becomes the president, the interim president. So in that case, what kind of regime change is this? So if you really want to do a regime change, and if President Trump has said, we will run Venezuela, as he said last night, even less than 12 hours ago, then how do these two facts add up? Here is the vice president of Venezuela becoming the interim president. Now, interim President Rodríguez says she will defend Venezuela's petroleum resources. President Trump says we will run Venezuela and we will take charge of the resources, we will pump more, and so on. Now, these are two contradictory positions. Now, how will this be resolved? Can this be resolved militarily? Does this mean there will be another military operation coming up? We don't know. We will have to wait and see what happens in the next 48 hours.
Absolutely. And now that the Vice President has been made the President of the country, will there be another action by Donald Trump and the United States is something that remains to be seen. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. We have a reaction coming in from Donald Trump. Remember, he had addressed a press conference last night where he made it clear that securing the oil wealth was the significant motivation behind the U.S. intervention in the country. He also emphasized that American companies would be, in fact, central to rebuilding the country's worsening oil infra. Have a look at what he said.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.